Hello, I'm Chef Andre Soel, and in this episode of Cheffinz Experience, we will be making the most important meal of the day. Breakfast, but with a Jamaican twist. Breakfast should not only be filling and nutritious, but should also taste good. On today's episode, we will be making cinnamon pepper jelly bacon, fluffy scrambled eggs, and festival waffles. Welcome to Cheffinz Experience, a taste of Jamaica, the breakfast edition. All right, so let's get straight into cooking. The first thing we're going to do is make the waffle batter. And the reason I'm going to do that first is I want the batter to sit for about 10 minutes so that all the flour can absorb all the wet ingredients. Let me get a bowl and a whisk and my measuring cup. So I'm going to take the Spur Tree Festival mix. This has baking powder, it has a little bit of sweetness, it has cornmeal. That's what traditional Jamaican, those are the ingredients that traditional Jamaican festivals will have. I'm going to pour some of it into my measuring cup. And remember, we're doing this in waffles, right? Festivals are traditionally like sweetened cornmeal dumplings. That's essentially what they are. But we're going to switch things up a little bit today and make them more of a breakfast type item. Going for 2 cups. And that looks about right. Set it back right here beside our other 2 starring ingredients. And all of these products are available on the website at tasteofjamaica.com. Simply go on the website, find what you want, add it to your shopping cart, order it, and within 2 to 7 days it's delivered to your doorstep. It's as simple as click, pick, and indulge. Over here we have some milk. Going to add it while stirring. Typically this is more of a dough than a batter if you're going to do it like the festival way, but again we're making waffles here, so we're going to make it a little more loose so that we can pour it out into the waffle iron. Now as this sits out for the 10-15 minutes thereabout, it will start to thicken up a little bit, making it a lot easier, or a lot more manageable rather, for the waffle iron. You don't have to get it absolutely smooth. If there are a little bit of crumbs in there, that's all good. All right, so now that this has been out for 10 minutes, this is the kind of consistency that we have. Pancake-like. What I'm going to do here is add some oil to it. You can add some oil if you want, you can add some butter, but I prefer using the oil because it makes it more crunchy. You get a crispier texture when you use oil over butter. I'm going to add the oil, finish combining it, and then straight over to the waffle iron. Set this off to the side, fill my station. And then we'll move on to prepping the bacon. And what we need for that is a lined tray. I like using lined trays because it makes cleanup a whole lot easier. And a little bit of cooking spray. We're just going to line this out. It's all right if it overlaps just a little bit. If you're running out of space, you don't have to be too concerned about that. Not too much. Just a bit. This is something that when you candy bacon, it actually stores in an airtight container for a long time. So if you want, you can do extras and leave it on your countertop. But for me, it doesn't last long. That looks good. Let's get this out of the way. Like so. Wash my hands, clear my station. We'll get right back into it. All right, so I'm going to whisk my eggs. I'm just going to take a fork and break it up. I want it smooth. I'm not going to add any salt or pepper to it just yet, because that will actually start to break down the eggs. I'm just going to whisk it. When I get over to the stove, I'll add it and then start scrambling. All right, that's it. Notice as I lift it up, it starts to run off the fork. That's all we're looking for. All right, so I had my waffle iron preheated. You are going to do this according to the instructions of your waffle iron. I'm going to grease mine a little bit. It's non-stick, but a little extra insurance doesn't hurt. And from here, I'm just going to pour out into each mold. So we're gonna get some rectangular waffles here. If you have the rounded ones, it really makes no difference. And then give that a close. This is gonna take about 5 to 6 minutes. One of the things you can look for to know when this is ready, the less steam you see coming from your waffle iron, you know that's when a lot of the moisture has evaporated. And that's what you want for like light, crispy, airy waffles, all right? So while that is being done, we're gonna move over to the stove so that we can start the glaze for the bacon. All right, so how we're gonna get started here, we're gonna make a little bit of tea. I'm gonna take some water. You can add 2 to 3 of your Cheffinz cinnamon tea bags, depending on how strong you want the bacon flavor, the cinnamon flavor rather. I'm gonna go with 3. So we just add 1, 2, 3. I'm going to add some brown sugar. And I'm going to let this boil for about 5 minutes or so. I'm going to let it simmer. Come to the boil, turn it down so that it simmers for about 5 minutes. All right, so all we're looking for here is for the mixture to reduce. And all that means is we wanted some of the water to evaporate. When the water evaporates, the sugar remains, of course, and then that becomes thicker, which is more conducive for glazing. Because we want it even thicker so that it glazes the bacon better and we want more flavor, we're going to add 1 whole jar of the Spur Tree pepper jelly. So if you notice, it's a little thick. So we need to add it here so that it dissolves, becomes a part of the glaze so that we can spread it on the bacon easily. So we're just gonna do that and let it simmer until it thickens. All right, so something that's important to note, over reducing something like this is actually possible. You don't want to do that because if you do that, as soon as you turn it off, it will start cooling down. When it starts to cool down, it will actually harden again. So what I like to do is when there are about maybe 2 or 3 chunks of the pepper jelly left in there, I turn off the heat and just start to stir so that the residual heat will melt what's left over. From there, we can get straight into glazing the bacon. So I'm going to switch this over a little bit. Take my brush and just start glazing. So we're going to glaze both sides. Sprinkle some brown sugar, flip them, and do the same thing on the other side. Then stick them in the oven. So now that one side is completely covered with the glaze, I'm going to sprinkle on a little bit of brown sugar. This will make it a little bit more crispy, add more flavor, of course. You don't need a thick layer of sugar on each. You just need to sprinkle it and ensure that you get good coverage. All right, so all our bacon fully glazed, fully sprinkled and everything. It's ready for the oven. I have my oven preheated to 350 degrees Fahrenheit and I'm going to place this in the middle rack. We're going to go for anywhere between 15 and 25 minutes. What I would suggest is that after about 12 minutes, you start to check it. All you want is nice color and for the bacon to render out the fat and start to get crispy. After 12 minutes, start to check. Let's go to the oven. All right, so I've been checking on my bacon and I've seen that it's ready. I'm going to turn off my oven and I'm going to lay out a plate here so that I can put the bacon on there. What we need to happen now, we need the bacon to start cooling down, and as it cools, that's when it will set. So I'm going to pull it off the tray. This is what it should look like. Nice and golden, dripping, and again, as it cools down, it will start to set. So I'm going to rest this off to the side in a plate here, and while it's cooling, we work on the scrambled eggs. All right, festival waffles are ready. The bacon is ready. Let's get the eggs going. In the time that it will take for the bacon to cool down, the egg should be ready. So I'm going to preheat a pan over medium-low heat thereabout. I'm going to add a little bit of salt. I'm going to add some pepper. I'm going to add the butter to the pan. And I'm going to whisk the eggs. We're going to cook this gently. I want nice, sizable curds that are delicate. All right, so the butter is ready. We're going to add the eggs and get started right away. Now, the aim of the game here is to keep the eggs moving and to control the temperature. If you see like it's getting a little too hot, you can either remove it from the heat or turn it down a little bit more. But we're going to keep the eggs moving from the outside to the center. And that will give me the kind of curds that I like for my scrambled eggs. If you want finer curds, then you can just go a little bit faster. So while the eggs are still a little bit runny, just a little bit, I'm going to turn off the heat and then use the residual heat to finish cooking it, because we don't want the eggs to overcook. And that's it. These are the types of curds that we're looking for. So let's get to plating. All right, so we're finished cooking, and now we're going to get to the assembly. I'm going to bring my plate a little closer here and serve about 3 waffles. Fan it out, because again, presentation is very important to me. I'll go ahead here and get a little bit of scrambled eggs. This off to the side. And then let's grab a few strips of this beautiful bacon. Come on now, man. Whee! In Jamaica, that means I'm excited. Whee! Practice that. There we go. How much bacon we eat when I eat bacon? Like 12? All right. For presentation purposes, I'm just going to put 4. Eat the other 8 off camera. So our plate is clean, everything is fully assembled. I'm going to go ahead and give the waffles a light dusting of powdered sugar. All right, that's about enough. Now this isn't absolutely necessary. I more dusted it down for presentation and to increase the sweetness of the waffles a little bit. That's all the time we have for today, folks. We hope you enjoyed and learned a lot. That is very important. You never know what we'll be making next, so make sure you never miss an episode. Like and share this video, subscribe to our channel, and don't forget to hit that notification bell. What will you be making for breakfast next? Did we give you any ideas here? Thank you for joining us, and until next time, I'm Chef Andre Soel, and this was Cheffinz Experience, a taste of Jamaica.